They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but this time it was a church video that broke the internet. Front row Sunday service. All eyes weren't on the pulpit. They were on Chrisean Rock, but not for the reasons she probably hoped. She was holding her son, Christian Jr., almost 2 years old, like a newborn. One hand cradling his body, the other supporting his head like he couldn't hold it up on his own. And that was all it took. The video leaked and spread like wildfire. Within hours, timelines were flooded with side-by-side comparisons, outraged tweets, and questions no one seemed ready to answer. How is this baby, at nearly 2 years old, not able to sit, speak, or even stand without help? This wasn't just internet noise. This was a wake-up call. And the story behind it? It's messier, deeper, and way more disturbing than most people know. The second that clip went live, the opinions flew in like arrows. Why is he still drinking from a bottle? Why is she holding him like that? Why can't he sit up? The critiques weren't coming from just anywhere. Mothers, nurses, early childhood specialists all started chiming in. Some tried to excuse it, others were furious, but almost everyone agreed on one thing: something isn't right. And here's the thing, when it comes to celebrity kids, the public usually minds its business. But this wasn't about fashion, money, or fame. This was about developmental milestones that every child should hit, and people couldn't look away. But the questions didn't stop at the baby. They quickly turned toward the mother. Rewind a bit. Chrisean was trending long before Junior ever arrived, but not for the right reasons. We all remember the live streams, the club fights, the viral clips of her swigging straight from Henny bottles while visibly pregnant. And yes, lighting up blunts too. People begged her to stop. Others brushed it off. It's her life, they said. Mind your business. But now, the consequences are staring everyone in the face. And it's no longer just her life on the line. Doctors have warned for years. Drinking and smoking during pregnancy can cause fetal alcohol syndrome, cognitive delays, speech disorders, motor issues. The list goes on. And now, internet sleuths are connecting the dots in real time. They're not just calling her out, they're saying she robbed her baby of a normal start at life. Of course, no Chrisean story is complete without the name that follows her like a shadow: Blueface. The relationship was chaos from the beginning. Abuse allegations, screaming matches, cheating scandals. But when Chrisean announced her pregnancy, people hoped it would force a change. Instead, the drama doubled. Rumors flew about Blueface kicking her during pregnancy. He publicly denied the baby was even his, calling it Charles Barkley's baby at one point. One week, it was not my kid. The next, he was using Junior as a prop in Instagram stories. The chaos didn't just affect the headlines. Fans believe the toxic energy in that household may have bled into the womb. And some even claim his substance use might have played a role. Was Junior doomed from the jump? Now here's where it really gets dark. Multiple insiders and even former friends have alleged that CPS may have already investigated the situation or are on the verge of stepping in. Why? Because the delays aren't just speculation anymore. They're visible and unavoidable. There are whispers that Chrisean has been dodging pediatric appointments, avoiding therapists, scared that if Junior is formally diagnosed, the finger will point straight back to her, and she could lose him. And let's be honest, no mother wants to deal with that, especially not in a world that's already watching, already judging, already screenshotting her every move. But when it comes to your child's health, can fear ever be an excuse? What's infuriating most people is this: she hasn't owned up to any of it. Instead of facing the criticism head-on, Chrisean continues to deny that she did anything wrong while pregnant. She's even said people are hating on her and trying to tear her down. But denial doesn't fix a diagnosis. Even now, she's re-following Blueface, publicly trying to rebuild a relationship that many consider dangerous. If she's really trying to change, why go back to the source of the toxicity? It's not just about bad choices. It's about refusing to acknowledge them. And for some fans, that's the ultimate betrayal. Things took another turn when her former best friends came forward. girls who had helped care for Junior while Chrisean was in jail. They didn't hold back. They confirmed what fans had been whispering for months, that Junior's delays were real, that he wasn't speaking or walking, and that Chrisean was doing everything she could to hide it from the world. One even hinted that Chrisean was ashamed, not just of the situation, but of her son. A heartbreaking accusation, but one that many said felt believable, because shame is heavy, and it'll make people do anything to avoid accountability. Of course, defenders came to her rescue. She's not the first woman to drink during pregnancy. My mom drank. I turned out fine. Y'all act like you perfect. But here's the truth. Not every baby turns out fine. And when they don't, pretending it's not a big deal just makes everything worse. This isn't about hate. It's about a little boy who didn't ask to be born into dysfunction. And he deserves more than Instagram quotes and baby-sized Gucci fits. He deserves a shot at thriving. Lately, Chrisean has been turning up in church more than clubs. She's posted tearful prayers, shared gospel tracts, and even cried during service. People are torn. Is this real healing or just a public image pivot? Some say it's her last hope. Others say it's too little too late. But one thing is clear. She's not the same girl from those Blueface days. Whether that change sticks, time will tell. Because God can forgive anything, but consequences still linger. One of the saddest parts of all this? How many fans still defend every bad choice she makes? They cheer her on, laugh at the mess, share the memes, but never stop to ask, what happens when the cameras are off? What does Junior's world look like without filters? If people really cared, they wouldn't just repost the drama, they'd hold her accountable. Not to cancel her, but to help her grow up. For her sake. For his. At this point, no amount of likes or shares can undo what's been done. Junior is who he is, and whatever delays or disabilities he faces, he's not to blame for any of it. But what Chrisean does next? That's still in her hands. She could double down on the fame, or finally put motherhood first, because the real question isn't what's wrong with her baby, it's what is she going to do about it now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Chrisean's trying to change? Is the criticism too harsh or not harsh enough? Let us know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell. We've got more deep dives coming your way.